Well, we finally got some new content for Stranger Things 5. What's happening, guys? It's Ty the TV Guy back with another video about Stranger Things 5. This time, instead of wondering where the content is, like my last video, talking about the new piece of content, kind of another teaser that the creators of the show and Netflix posted to all their social media accounts and YouTube. We got this video right here. It's about 3 minutes in length, and it's going through just a bunch of the actors that we love on the show, talking about how special it's been in the experience, similar to some of the stuff we've gotten earlier on in the process, and blending that with a little bit of new and mostly old footage, in terms of older footage from past seasons or footage that we've already gotten from season 5 that's still going to be new to us, but not entirely new because it was in the past teaser trailer from 2 months ago. So that's kind of a synopsis of what this video is, but I'm going to go into some of the specifics of what I liked about it, and then I'm also going to break down some of the new standstill images that we got in little short bursts throughout this video. Before I get too far into it, as always, like the video, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more content about Stranger Things 5. Gonna be posting a lot leading up to the season, and especially once it releases, so check that stuff out. But okay, before I get into breaking down some of the new scenes that we're seeing here and kind of theorizing about what they could be or just giving my thoughts, I want to give my thoughts overall on the structure of this. And like I said, I just posted a video a couple days ago about how I was like a little weirded out that the promotion has been so low for season 5. And I want to say this is exactly the type of thing I was expecting and hoping for. It doesn't have to be anything groundbreaking. It doesn't have to be a bunch of new footage. In fact, I don't want to be spoiled on that many details, obviously, and I assume since it's the final season, they're not going to come anywhere close to giving us too much. I want some of that in the final trailer, but that's it. Right now, this is the type of stuff I want. So to me, this was perfect and exactly what I asked for just a couple days ago. It was funny, I posted that video like 12 hours before they came out with their first post about season 5 in a couple months. It was quite a bizarre stretch of silence from Netflix and Stranger Things on all their socials, but it looks like they're going to start ramping up the promotion now. And so I love this. It's exactly what I was kind of hoping for, like I said. And something that's highlighted here that I've always also been drawn to related to the show is just how likable all the actors on the show seem to be. I mean, they're talking about the show and it feels like they genuinely care. And, you know, when following famous people, sometimes you don't always get that feeling, whether it's a pro athlete, a pro entertainer in any discipline. It can feel like they're just selling out or they're just doing something because, you know, it looks good in their bank account. I just don't get that feeling with the people on Stranger Things. I feel like they actually loved working together, loved the characters and the plot of the show, as many of them highlighted in this video. And so that just makes me feel good that I'm watching something that's authentic and that a lot of heart was put into. You know, it's good that a show that's so much about heart and friendship and relationships, you know, kind of had all those elements put into it as well. So just wanted to mention that that's something that makes me feel good when watching this new teaser video. But all right, guys, now I'm going to get into some of the exciting new standstill frames here. So let's take a look. So the first thing to talk about is this obscure door out in the field. Now, I haven't done any deep dives on Reddit. I got a full-time job, unfortunately, so I don't have the time to, you know, go into everybody's theories, at least right away on this type of stuff, but I have no clue what this is. I'm not going to sit here and act like I do, so I don't have much of an explanation. Stranger Things doesn't seem like the type of show to like try to trick us with something or just put something in here for fun that doesn't have meaning. I'm assuming this has something to do with what's going to go on in season 5. I just couldn't sit here and tell you, even have like the slightest hint as to what this is. Maybe conceptually it could have something to do with like the doors to Vecna or Max or Will's mind and how it all connects, but I don't know. Seems really random at first glance, to be honest with you. Here's another standstill. This is the first of Mike and Eleven, and we actually get quite a bit of them, at least compared to everything else. I mean, we get like 2 or 3 snapshots of them throughout this, so that's more than like any other pairing here. And so, as some people call them 11, the relationship appears to be going strong, and I might make like a fuller video, at least talking about this more in depth, but to me, everything that's led up to this has fully proven that they're going to be endgame in this show, that they're going to end up together. I know other people want, you know, another relationship to happen, but I just don't think it's realistic at this point. I feel like it would be counterproductive for how much they've built these two up together throughout the entire series. I mean, it's been a focus from the very beginning. So, and I'm interested to see how their relationship's going to end up come the end of the show. Here we get a little standstill of Dustin, who appears to have already been beaten up at this point. We've kind of seen through a lot of the teases that that's going to happen to him. Probably when he visits Eddie's grave early in the season and some bullies find him there that didn't like Eddie so much. But here he has a walkie, looks concerned concerned, in front of a place with vines on it. Looks like it might be the church setting that we heard rumblings of early on in the filming process in 2024. Wouldn't be surprised if that's what he's standing outside of right here. Here we get another shot of Mike and 11 with a beautiful scene in the background. Once again, not much breakdown to do here, just further showing that there's going to be a good amount of screen time, at least in the first volume I'm anticipating for Mike and 11 before 11 has to go on her side venture, which I think is going to be with Hopper. Here we get 11 maybe at a familiar location in the show with the abandoned cars where they were in season 1 and season 2, where Steve kind of went out and fought plenty of the Demogorgons with the bats, and they went into that bus to hide. I think that might be that same junkyard type area, but regardless, she's looking honestly really cool here in this outfit, reaching around the car, using her powers on something, a Demogorgon, something of that nature. I wouldn't imagine she's fighting Vecna here, but you never know. But yeah, I'm loving this 11 look. I mean, we'll have to see how it actually looks on the screen, you know, when everything's mixed and presented to us in full, but could go down as one of 11's coolest looks here, at least in my opinion. Once again, in between all these, we're getting a lot of recycled shots from the prior teaser trailer, which is okay. Once again, I'm a fan of what they did with this video, not revealing too much, but just feeding the fans, reminding us that, hey, it's coming. But we do get to another kind of new picture here at a new setting. Don't really know what this is. It's Nancy and Jonathan looking like they're in a bar type setting with a walkie on the side, and then Nancy, per usual, loading up a gun. That's kind of her forte at this point. Jonathan's also assisting her in that process, but you know, a cool new scene here. Not sure exactly if this is like a public space or a bar within someone's house, but we'll have to see. But Nancy is going to be Nancy Walk 'em Down Wheeler once again here in season 5, clearly. Then we get a little clip of Joyce caressing Hopper's face. Of course, another solid, firm couple in this final season that isn't going anywhere. And it looks like, if I had to guess here, Joyce might be saying like bye, at least temporarily, to Hopper, as he might have to go on the adventure with 11 or on his own thing. I don't know what quite's going to be going on early on in the season with him, but I know he doesn't seem to be in the group like in that basement at the WSQK radio station in the insights into those scenes we're getting. So I feel like Hopper's going to be away from the rest of them a little bit in the early stages of this season, at least. That's my guess. So I think she might be saying like, bye, I love you type of thing here. Here's the scene I was kind of talking about. Not sure exactly what everyone's looking at, but this is where the whole group seems to be in this basement. I know in other scenes we've also seen that 11 and Will appear to be down here at certain points. So the only person I haven't really seen down here, or one of the main people I haven't seen down here, is Hopper, obviously like Erica too, and maybe a couple other Murray, people like that. But all of the core members seem to be gathered down here in this basement, probably devising their plan. Here's a cool looking scene, which I'm sure is going to go crazy once the visual effects of the talented Stranger Things graphic team turns it up a notch when we actually get it on screen. But we have all the vines on these columns here. It appears to be a Hawkins lab setting once again here, so excited to see this iconic location back on screen in season 5. We already knew it was coming with a little leak we got in the teaser trailer last time, but excited to see this angle of it too. This is a little behind the scenes clip that I'm choosing to show. I didn't really show the rest of the behind the scenes stuff, but this was just pretty funny. It's Caleb McLaughlin dapping up his stunt double, and I don't know, Caleb just seems to be such like a calm, chill guy, and I thought this was funny, so I wanted to include it. Here we get a flash of someone running through the woods. It's a little blurry, but it does appear to be Holly Wheeler. I think it would make the most sense. We don't know exactly when this is going to be. Is she running away from whatever monster is in their house attacking her and her mom when they're kind of submerging themselves in that water, as we've seen? Is she running away from Henry Creel outside the Creel house? Is she trying to get away in the woods nearby? I don't know exactly, but I do believe this is Holly here. And this kind of further supports the thought that it's the vanishing of Holly Wheeler, even though the Duffer Brothers are trying to throw us off that that's not the title. So not exactly sure what to think of it all, but I do think this is her. Then we get Hopper stabbing some upside down substance here, kind of like vines. I'm not sure if it's that wall that him and 11 had been looking at previously in other footage we've gotten from the teaser trailers where they're looking up at the wall with the flashlights. It kind of looks like a similar substance, but not exactly sure if this is in the same scene or scenario. So, and then we get probably the most interesting glimpse into new footage here in this teaser trailer, where we get a very limited amount, admittedly. We get Erica and Robin on opposite sides running away from what appears to be Will, like laying or sitting on top of the young character that is anticipated to be Derek Turnbow in this new season. Of course, the titles of one of the episodes is the Turnbow Trap, so he's thought to have at least an integral part in the early stages of the season. And so why is Will holding him down? Why are Robin and Erica running away? I don't exactly know, of course. That's kind of my answer for all these, but if I were to speculate, it would probably be that they're running away from Derek, in my opinion. I don't think, I think this is all footage from the first volume still, and I don't think Will is going to be like possessed and evil, at least at this point, if that's the route they're going to go. I think that would happen later on or something, and then, I don't know, 11 would have to save him. But I don't know. I have a hard time believing that Will is evil here. I feel like he may have powers already and like enhanced strength and is able to hold Derek down, or maybe it's just because he's an older kid. I don't know, but I don't know. Just based on the looks on Robin and Erica's faces, it looks like, they're on a mission. They know they have to get away, but they don't look like scared of Will or something. So I don't think Will is like the problem here or the bad guy or like telling them to run. But then again, we get that clip of him screaming, "Run!" And so maybe he says it before this, and I don't know, guys. I'm trying to put some of the pieces together. Obviously, we got that weird standstill of Derek like appearing to be at the top of the barn. Did Will throw him up there? I don't know. That would seem pretty dark, to be honest with you, but I'm not sure what's going to happen here. I feel like this barn scene, we've gotten so many like different thrown together little clips of it that I'm trying to put the pieces together, but we're ultimately not going to know. But I think it's going to be epic when the time comes. And also, this little shot here is really visually appealing. I like how it's like all centered. Will is right in the middle on top of Derek seemingly, and then Robin and Erica are kind of spaced out evenly on the sides. I really like how they shot this. And then as the last thing to talk about here, we get as clear a shot of the Demogorgon and like the inside of its mouth, I guess, as we've ever seen as it's spreading out. Looks really cool and detailed. I think the visual effects are going to go crazy in this final season, of course. I mean, it's 2025. You know what we're getting now. We're getting crazy visual effects. So that's about all I have to say here, guys. I mean, it's fun going through this stuff. I'm happy even when we get little tidbits like we did today. And like I said, the whole video was just kind of like uplifting for me. It's the type of content I want before the final season, seeing the creative process from some of the directors and them commenting on what the show has meant, and the actors as well talking about that stuff. Like I said, it makes me feel good that they actually care. And it's part of a reason why I feel like the Stranger Things community is so strong, and why the love and relationships in this show go even beyond what's actually on screen, and it's part of the reason I love it. So let me know what you guys thought of this update trailer. I thought it was pretty cool for what it was, and got a few interesting glimpses in here. The main one being in that barn. What's going on at the Turnbow property with the Turnbow Trap episode? Is Will gonna have like a powerful moment here? Why are they running away? Is that where the run scene is shot and the result of it? Maybe so. We'll have to see, though, guys. Until next time, this is Ty the TV Guy, and I look forward to making more Stranger Things content for you. Peace.